So today we're making our shiny chocolate glaze for our eclairs. Now to get started with making our glaze, you first want to go ahead and prepare some neutral glaze. Now you can purchase this, however I do find it very low cost and very easy to make. Now the neutral glaze, what it's going to do is really give a beautiful shine to our glaze, but it's also replacing the gelatin component of a professional glaze like this. So when it does cool down, it's going to set beautifully and give the texture and the look that we are going for with this glaze. Now I've just put that over my heat. We want to melt it very, very slowly on a very low heat. And while that's going ahead and melting, we can start preparing our chocolate and our plant-based cream. Now all you want to do is chop your chocolate really nice and fine, or use the callets. I am using a 70% couverture chocolate today. If you can't find couverture chocolate, you can replace 5 to 10% of your chocolate weight with cocoa butter, just to give it the correct texture that we're looking for. Now you want to add it to your plant-based cream, and we're going to melt this in the microwave in about 15 to 20 second intervals. Just make sure you give it a good stir in between each time you put it in. And if you don't have a microwave, you can do this over a bain-marie, so over in a bowl over some simmering water, just until it's about half to 2/3 melted. So once our chocolate and cream mixture has almost melted, we can blend it together. I like to use my immersion blender just to get a really good emulsion. And then now I can see that my neutral glaze has completely melted, so we can now add that to our somewhat of a ganache that we've just created and combine everything together. Again, using our immersion blender, we can blend all of that until we get a silky smooth glaze. And now we want to just tap underneath our jug just to ensure that any air bubbles come to the surface. We really want to try and avoid having air bubbles in our glaze. So just tap underneath the surface, that's going to bring them to the top, and then cover the surface with some cling wrap to contact. And at this stage, we can just transfer this to the fridge until we're ready to use our glaze. And once ready to use our glaze, just ensure that we heat it. We want to melt it back down essentially and blend it, and ensure that it's at our working temperature before we start glazing our eclairs.